Chapter 52. Adelmo and Lana were deep in their trance, completely absorbed in their own thoughts. The room was silent, except for the faint sound of their breathing. Suddenly, their peaceful meditation was shattered by the sight of Samara emerging from the end of the hallway. Adelmo's heart skipped a beat as he noticed the glint of a sword in her hand. What was she up to? With a sense of urgency, Adelmo couldn't help but shout out, his voice filled with genuine concern. "Samara, what on earth are you doing? Why would you set a time bomb?" His mind raced, trying to comprehend the gravity of the situation. Lana's eyes widened in shock as she watched Samara's every move. As if in response to Adelmo's question, Samara's gaze shifted towards the entrance of the room. Adelmo and Lana's hearts sank as they saw someone else enter, carrying the bomb. Samara carefully placed the bomb on the ground, her voice filled with determination as she declared, "You will never be allowed to conduct these tests. I won't let you replicate this experiment." With a swift motion, she used her sword to break the handle, effectively trapping Adelmo and Lana inside the room. Panic surged through Adelmo and Lana as they realized they were now trapped. Without a moment's hesitation, they sprinted after Samara, desperately calling out, "Wait!" The adrenaline coursing through their veins propelled them forward as they raced to catch up with her. They burst out of the building just in time to witness a deafening explosion that engulfed the laboratory in flames. Suddenly, Adelmo and Lana snapped out of their trance, their hearts pounding in their chests. Gasping for breath, they looked at each other in disbelief, their minds still reeling from the intensity of the vision they had just experienced. The room around them was calm and peaceful, a stark contrast to the chaos they had just witnessed. It took them a moment to fully comprehend that it had all been a vivid hallucination, a product of their deep trance. Lana's eyes widened as she gazed at Adelmo, her chest heaving as she struggled to catch her breath. "Is that really going to happen?" she inquired, her voice tinged with a mix of fear and disbelief. Adelmo met her gaze, his expression grave. "I am afraid it just might unless we can do something about it," he responded, his tone serious and determined. Adelmo and Lana approached the door, their urgency palpable. One of the helpers opened it, speaking in German. "Kann ich Ihnen helfen?" Adelmo's brows furrowed slightly, caught off guard by the unfamiliar language. Do you speak English?" he asked, hoping for a common ground to communicate effectively. The helper recognized the switch and switched to English, albeit with a thick German accent. "Can I help you?" Adelmo wasted no time, his words urgent and direct. "I have some urgent news. Someone is going to blow up this building. You all need to get out of here as soon as possible." The helper, initially skeptical, responded, "I highly doubt that this is a really secure building." Adelmo's frustration was evident as he retorted, "What? Are you stupid? I don't work here. I'm not even from around here. If I can get in, then someone else can get into this building." The helper, realizing the gravity of the situation, finally relented. "All right, I will relay the message." As the door closes behind them, Adelmo and Lana engage in a hushed conversation. Adelmo's voice is filled with concern as he confides in Lana. "I feel so helpless. I wish there was something I could do for them, but all I can do is try to protect Samara from going down that same path." Curiosity fills Lana's voice as she questions, "But why does Samara think these people are trying to replicate what's happening with the zombies? It doesn't make sense." Suddenly, Sierra, who has been silently listening, can no longer contain her frustration. Her voice breaks the silence, filled with exhaustion. "Haven't you guys seen those zombie movies? They always try to understand the cause and control it for their own advantage. Maybe that's what these people are doing." Lana's voice is skeptical as she counters, "But that doesn't mean these people are doing the same. We can't jump to conclusions." Adelmo's voice interjects, filled with uncertainty. "True, Lana. We don't know for sure if they are or aren't doing that, right?" Lana's voice concedes. "Yeah, I guess you're right. We can't rule anything out at this point." Adelmo proposed, "Perhaps the timing is off. We've never been great at timing when these situations arise." Lana concurred, You might be onto something. Should we wait around here in hopes of catching her entering the building?" The uncertainty in their voices was palpable as they scanned the area for any sign of Samara. Suddenly, Sierra caught sight of Samara sprinting out of the building and urgently pointed it out to the group. "I believe we made a wrong turn. Just look." Panic set in as Samara dropped to the ground, bracing herself for what was about to unfold. Adelmo's instincts kicked in as he witnessed her fall, immediately guiding Lana and Sierra to the ground for safety. With a protective stance, he shielded them from the building, ready for whatever danger was approaching. The tension in the air was thick as Samara lay on the ground, the group huddled together in fear of the unknown. Adelmo's quick thinking and protective nature were evident as he shielded his companions from the potential threat. The urgency of the situation was clear, and they all braced themselves for the impending danger, unsure of what was to come next. The uncertainty of the moment hung heavy in the air as they waited for the situation to unfold. Out of nowhere, the building erupts in a violent explosion, sending glass shards flying as every window shatters from the sheer force. The intense fire and heat emanating from the blast are so powerful that they begin to weaken the structure of the building itself, causing it to tremble and sway. As the chaos subsides, Adelmo is left standing in shock, his eyes widening and his mouth hanging open in disbelief as he gazes back at the now devastated building. In that moment, he realizes the magnitude of what has just occurred, witnessing history being obliterated right before his eyes.